Hello and welcome to the Divine Odyssey. I'm your host, Karan the Seeker, and I'm going to be your guide on this spiritual journey through the chakras. So, if this is your first time seeing this channel, this is the second event in a 7-month series where monthly I'm going to be going over the chakras. So far, we've already gone over the root chakra, and I'll leave a link in the description to the root chakra presentation. And tonight, we are going to be going over the sacral chakra. And these meetings, again, in case this is your first time joining, these meetings are going to be held on the first Wednesday of the month. So if you're seeing this video right now, the very next meeting is going to be July 5th, 2023. And again, I will leave a link in the description for you. Now, I am not going to read this whole slide. What I will do is tell you that for the past several years, I have been in self-study, studying spirituality, neuroscience, physics, psychology, personal wellness, and all of this studying is for the purpose of being better understanding me, better understanding you, better understanding our universe, how everything works, and how we are all connected to each other, basically. I started the Relax, Meditate, Rejuvenate channel to assist others in meditation practice because it's just easier to, self-reflect and contemplate the wonders of the universe when you're relaxed, right? So if I can add to that relaxation, I'm more than happy to do so. So I have my socials at the top. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on, of course, here on YouTube. And I will also include, my Eventbrite information going forward. I realize now that I didn't put that there. But yes, so the links that I mentioned earlier, those will have my Eventbrite information so that you can see what other events that I have and, just join and participate so that we can all get to know each other, exchange information, and again, understand ourselves and this universe. So on TikTok, I share clips of interviews about, mindset and motivational quotes and affirmations. On YouTube, I also share affirmations as well as the meditation videos with relaxing music, and the goal is, like I said, to help you feel more relaxed so that you can get the relaxation you deserve, right? If we all have, work and jobs and family and so many responsibilities and so many distractions and, outside stress from the news and all those things, we need some type of way to bring ourselves back in balance, right? And that's what the purpose of the channel is, and that's what the purpose of these meetings are for the Divine Odyssey. So again, if you're new, take a peek around the channel, find something you like. If you don't see anything you like, leave me a comment. Tell me something you'd like to see, a specific topic for affirmations, a certain type of video. I'm open to suggestions because it's not doing any good if it's not helping the people who are watching it, right? So, communicate with me. Let me know in the comments what you think about what you see on the channel. What are the takeaways that I want you to have for these meetings, right? What is the whole purpose of the Divine Odyssey meetings on Eventbrite? The purpose of these meetings, right? The purpose of studying the chakras is that when we study the chakras, we are learning how to study ourselves, right? We want to better understand why we may be feeling the way that we're feeling, right? And learn how to become conscious of it and how to fix it, right? Because, a lot of times we're just freaking going through life, experiencing things, being upset, being stressed, being, emotional about things, but we're not really sure of what the root cause is, and we're not really sure how to address it. That's a problem, right? We need to become masters of ourselves. The information I'm sharing here is not for entertainment purposes. This information is for you to improve yourself. Improving ourselves is where change begins, right? If we want to have our worlds look different, be different, if we don't like how things are, and a lot of us don't, it needs to change. But you can't change things around you without changing you. So we have to be better. We have to understand ourselves so that we can better understand others. And I think it's so important because, if we can start interacting with other people with more empathy, with more compassion, then hopefully we can see a huge decrease in people hurting themselves, people hurting others simply because they feel misunderstood or because they hate themselves, right? Things shouldn't be like that. And we can fix it. But like I said, it starts with understanding you first. So the Divine Odyssey, the study of the chakras, is a study of you, and it is a lesson plan in self-mastery. And that's what I hope we can achieve by the end of this session, by the end of all of these sessions. Okay, so quick overview of our previous session on the root chakra. The root chakra is our foundation. It is directly tied to your basic needs, your survival, your food, your shelter, your safety. Our last meeting, we discussed all the things you might be feeling physically, emotionally, psychologically when this chakra is in balance and when it's out of balance. So when it's in balance, you may be feeling, safe, secure in yourself, trusting, improved immunity, reverse look of, aging, feeling resourceful, feeling organized. When it's out of balance, you might feel things like a sense of lack, feeling greed, feeling a sense of scarcity, feeling depressed, having poor health, having episodes of anger, feeling like you're in survival mode, feeling sluggish, a lack of trust. You may feel insecure and disconnected from others, and you may be worrying a lot, right? Because, of course, when your basic needs aren't met, that's something to be concerned about. Naturally, the universe would not let you be out of balance without giving you some kind of, remedies to bring yourself back in balance. And you know what? Even if you are already feeling wonderful and you have everything on that in balance list, keep yourself that way, right? So you can do practices to help bring yourself back or keep yourself in balance for the root chakra. Some of the suggested remedies were meditation, which of course is going to be a recurring theme here, connecting with nature, which is, there's so many ways you can do it. You can go sit outside or take a walk somewhere where there's greenery, trees, birds. You can walk the beach, walk on the ground barefoot, sit down on the ground, sit near a tree. It turns out people weren't hugging trees for no reason, right? The earth generates so much energy and it gives off negative ions that are just beneficial for our health, and they help with bringing the root chakra back in alignment. And if you recall from our previous session, the element associated with the root chakra is the earth. Okay, so grounding is important. Additional remedies include, using crystals as, something to help generate energy within your home or within you if you're wearing your crystals. and also just using them as a modality, using them as a reminder of the things you want to remember associated with your root chakra. You can also use sound healing, using meditation bowls, music that's tuned to 396 hertz. I do want to remind everyone that everything is energy. Everything is tuned into a certain frequency. So when you tune yourself into specific frequencies for these chakras, it really helps to bring them back in alignment. Because, like I just said, everything is frequency, and you would be surprised at some of the things that can throw us out of whack just because of how it sounds. It's crazy. A lot of science back there, but I'm not going to go into that in here. Additionally, we had the root lock exercise, which is squeezing the base of your spine and breathing in, breathing out, and affirmations, as well as yoga poses. Some of the yoga poses include, the garland pose or the bridge pose. And, just in general stretches, you really want to do things that are good for your lower body, for your lower back, for your hips, opening up that area, really letting the air flow into those areas, and really taking your time to feel the stretch. All of these are good for the root chakra. Now, if you weren't here for the live presentation of the root chakra, or if you didn't see the previous presentation, I'll put the link in the description so that you can catch up and get all of the details on the root chakra, because we went into all of these things in far more detail. All right, so now we can move forward. We can dive deeper into our study and move upward in a chakra system to the sacral chakra. As we did last time, I will share the basic details of the chakras, give you the function of the sacral chakra, tell you what you'll feel when it's in balance versus when it's out of balance, and of course provide tips, right, to help you heal, to help you bring yourself back in alignment. And during the live presentations, we would usually have like a little discussion after, but of course feel free to chat in the comments, and let me know if you have questions. And at the end, we'll wrap everything up with a 5-minute meditation so that we can reflect. I want to take a moment to remind everyone that the chakra system is a very vast subject. In this Divine Odyssey series, I am purposely limiting the scope of the series to just covering the primary function of each chakra and really focusing on the emotional wellness aspect. That's what our primary focus is. And sometimes I may refer to things that are new to you, new terms in spirituality or possibly science. Feel free to write those things down, for your own personal research, or for questions for me if you have them, right, if we get to speak. The whole purpose of this series is for knowledge, so that we can learn and grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And we can do that a lot faster when we share our questions, when we give each other things to think about, share our insight. Okay? So let's go over the basics of the chakras. The word chakra means wheel, because each of these 7 main chakras are energy centers that are spinning. And remember, our journey starts from the bottom up. If this is your first time seeing this, again, we started with the root chakra because we want to raise our energy, raise our attention, raise our focus and awareness and consciousness upward. This is what the Divine Odyssey is. It's the spiritual journey upward from our lower self to our higher self. The Sanskrit word for the sacral chakra is svadhisthana, which means one's abode or one's dwelling place. The reason it is called that is because the sacral chakra is really tied to the sensations of the physical body. And we'll discuss more on that coming up next in the next few slides. Every chakra is tied to a specific element, color, frequency, and specific part of the body. For the sacral chakra, the element is water. The color associated with it is orange, and the frequency is between 417 and 477 hertz. And as for the part of the body associated with it, it's the testes and the ovaries. And sometimes when you do your own research, you may see the prostate or the uterus. Whatever. The uterus. You think I know how to say that, right? In any case, the main point is that the sacral chakra is associated with the reproductive organs. What we want to make sure we're doing during each session is building upon our knowledge from the previous session. Now, when we discuss the root chakra, when the root chakra is out of balance, you are hyper focused on having your basic needs met, and it can become difficult to see anything outside of that because that's your survival, your shelter, your safety, your food. You need those things. And if you're struggling to have those needs met, if you're out of balance, that's not really, conducive with having a whole bunch of time to self-reflect. And I thought that was interesting because the element associated with the sacral chakra is water, right? So it seems like as our bare necessities are fulfilled, we can start moving upward in our concerns. We can start to take in things more and enjoy life and be more reflective on who we are and how we want to be, right? It gives you time to sit back and observe yourself. And creative energy is actually synonymous with sexual energy. Both your creativity and your sexuality are generated from this same area, from the sacral chakra. It's really all about how you're directing your energy, right? So, some questions to consider may be, is all your attention and focus going towards satisfying your sexual needs? Or are you using some of that energy to create? Also, as you saw on one of the previous slides, the sacral chakra is tied to our reproductive organs as well as the glands that produce our hormones, our sex hormones. And what are those hormones tied to? Our emotions, right? And this is our emotional tie to reality. And, I really like, if we've had the chance to speak before, you'll probably know by now that I really like the blend between science and spirituality, because they're really studying the same thing from different directions. An imbalance in estrogen or testosterone can lead to huge mood swings, or you can get stuck in one emotion or another. So again, just to emphasize the point, this chakra, the sacral chakra, is tied to our emotional connection to reality. And that emotional connection, that emotional attachment can manifest itself in both positive as well as destructive ways. So let's look at the positive ways first. When this chakra is in balance, you may be feeling friendly, passionate, expressive, sexually fulfilled, creative, creating things like manifesting, having a sense of joy, feeling flexible and spontaneous, and having healthy relationships. Now, I thought one of the biggest ones for me, in my opinion, was being expressive. Because that really ties into your creativity and the relationships that you have with other people. And I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Nothing makes you happier than being yourself, right? Being comfortable to be you. When you are comfortable, you make other people comfortable. It puts other people at ease, and it's attractive, honestly. I really believe that, we all draw more people in when we're comfortable in our own skin. And being creative is not limited to just artwork, right? It doesn't mean you got to be, Picasso or Rembrandt or something. Creating can be artistic, like, drawings, paintings, playing music. But it could also just be you doing something unique, right? Maybe organizing something in a different way in your home, just being comfortable to dance freely in the living room or at a party or something, being able to bring an idea into fruition. Those are all a part of creating. And sexual fulfillment and relationships. I focused on this a good bit during our live session, but you have positive experiences in these areas when you connect with people in a healthy way, right? Again, emphasis on healthy relationships. And you'll see why I'm emphasizing that when we get to the next slide. Keep in mind when I say out of balance, that can, swing in one direction or the other, right? You can be either overactive in an area or underactive. The sacral chakra is our emotional attachment to reality. So that can cause some attachment issues, such as addictive or obsessive behaviors. And addiction can come in many different forms, right? You can be addicted to food, like, sugar addictions, salt addictions, alcohol, drugs. I am including weed in that. So sorry. I'm sorry. Including it in there. What else? You can have a sex addiction. I think addiction to sex is an important one because if you recall, we pointed out that sexual and creative energy are being generated from the same place. So, what happens when we abuse this energy center? It can leave you feeling, tired, depleted. And when you feel that way, that's not, you know, an ideal state for you to be in to put your efforts into other things like creating more passionate experiences, expressing yourself creatively. That kind of leaves a hole in your life that still needs to be filled. What other addictions? You've got, TV addiction, addiction to people, right? People don't often, talk about that, but sometimes when you let your emotions take the driver's seat, it can create boundary issues in relationships, and things can get emotionally charged in a very, very unhealthy way. So addiction to people is definitely something that I thought was important to include in this list. Keep in mind that the Sanskrit word for sacral chakra is svadhisthana, which means one's abode, your body. So think about how addictions impact your health physically. We have to love and appreciate the body that we were given because it's literally the place where our soul dwells. It's our home. Some other traits or characteristics of having an out of balance sacral chakra include repression or like feeling controlling. And oftentimes that goes hand in hand, really, because sometimes when people don't know how to express themselves, they're wound up so tightly that they don't want to see you being free and expressive. And they kind of try to dim your light, or they need you to constrict yourself so that you can, basically be on their level, be repressed the same way they are. And repression can take many different forms. It can be a creative repression. Some people don't want to try new things. They don't want to do anything that's outside of the standard. Some people are able to create emotional connections because they're repressing their emotions and they suffer from a lack of intimacy. And some people are sexually repressed. Like I said, the imbalance can swing from one direction to the other, right? You can either be too sexually active to the point where it's depleting you, or you can be underactive where you have little or no drive at all. And for the record, too, when I say overactive, that does indeed include masturbation. Don't think you was off the hook because you was by yourself. Nope, it still counts. It counts, okay? But let's jump back. A lot of people, a lot of that repression, right, and that lack of creativity, that lack of expression comes from guilt and shame. And guilt and shame can kind of come from like embarrassing moments from the past, right? That one time someone told you they didn't like how you were dancing, how you were singing, how you was talking, how you were being. They offered their opinion and you ain't asked, but they gave it to you, and kind of created some shame for you. And now you can't freely be who you want to be because you think there's something wrong with how you are. Guilt and shame can also come from traumatic experiences, especially like sexual experiences in particular. Negative experiences like these can, they pretty much leave you with the fear of being judged. It makes people not want to expose themselves. And when your life is not filled with, like I said, that passion, that enjoyment, when you're not fully being who you are out of alignment. And like I said earlier, it creates a gap, it creates a hole. And usually those holes, those gaps in your life where you're missing that fulfillment, that enjoyment, that's usually where the addictions come into place, right? They come in to fill that up for you. But they don't really solve the problem. They're temporary. And because those pleasures are temporary, right? Because the sexual act is temporary, because, there isn't an infinite amount of cake or cookies or enough hours of TV watching that can really replace you having fulfillment in life. Well, you keep going back to it, right? You have another drink, you have more drugs, you eat more food, and the cycle just keeps repeating itself, and that hole just stays there. But that's what this is about, really better understanding who we are. This is self-mastery. When we better understand why we're doing things, what may be causing us to think and feel certain things, we can now begin to take control over it. We can now start having mastery over ourselves. So let's look at how to heal the sacral chakra. All right, so the first step is letting go. Let it go. Let it all go. Let go of everything. Let go of unhealthy relationships, controlling yourself, controlling others, let go of shame, guilt, the fear of being judged, addiction of any kind, and just overall worrying about what other people think. Let it go. The next step is to create, express yourself, draw, paint, sing in the shower, organize an event, put an amazing outfit together, write something, right? You could do like, a blog, a journal, video blog, bring something into this world, into reality. Take one of your ideas, it's running around in your head, and do it. Cook an amazing meal, try a new hairstyle, play sports, dribbling and getting crazy on the court. That's art. That's that's creativity, the way some of these people can play sports. Learn a new instrument, anything, but do the thing that's going to make you feel, that makes you feel right. Do the thing that's going to make you feel happy, that's going to warm your chest up, that's going to make you feel like, again, purpose, passion. That's what we're looking for here. And that's what we get when we are creative, when we express ourselves, when we be who we're supposed to be. Okay? So create, express yourself. You can also use crystals, of course, in your healing process. The different shapes serve different purposes, but anyone that you speak to at your local store can help you with identifying what shapes do what. You can use the energy from the crystals, like I mentioned earlier, just to have on you or to have within your home or your office, wherever you're going to be regularly. And again, of course, you can use them as a reminder of what you want to focus on for your sacral chakra. So let's say you have, this sunstone pyramid sitting on your desk. Every time you see that sunstone, you can use it as a reminder to think, that's right, I need to be more creative. That's right, I need to keep being more and more expressive every day. Just as a reminder. And crystals are also good to use during your meditation practice as well. Some people sit them near where they want to meditate, or some people will hold them, depending on the type of stone it is, while they meditate to, again, help focus on the thing you want for that chakra. Some other methods for healing include, but are not limited to, yoga exercises, stretches, such as some of the ones that you see here. Pretty much you want to focus, again, just like the root chakra, focus on your lower back area, opening up that area and really feeling the stretch. You can also do sound healing. There are meditation bowls that are specifically tuned for the sacral chakra. You can listen to 417 hertz music. And you can also say the mantra VAM. And I'm not really like stretching it out, but I'm sure all of you have at least heard ohms before. You hear how they really enunciate each letter and elongate it. Let that vibrate through your body as you sing it. Also, we didn't mention this in the last session, but you can also use color therapy, right? The color associated with the sacral chakra is orange. And color is important. It has a tremendous impact on our psychology. Fortune 500 companies spend tons of money, making sure they get the right color for the right logo, and they know it's important, right? So you should make it important too. Make it a part of your healing process. Wear, something vibrant. Bring vibrancy to your home, right? The way you decorate. Use color to boost your mood. And again, act as a reminder, just like with the crystals, right? This is all for the purpose of your healing. And take your time with each of these healing things, right? Really be purposeful in choosing your crystal and listening to your music and doing your meditation. All of this is for the purpose of your healing. So, don't rush through it. None of this is a chore. It's something that you do if you want to do it. So if you are going to do it, enjoy the process. Of course, meditation is a big part of any healing process. Meditation is your time. You can use meditation however you see fit. You can use your meditation for contemplation. You can use it to relax, which has wonderful effects on the brain. You can practice pranayama, which are breathing exercises to help you manipulate your life force energy. And for those who don't know, your life force energy is your breath, right? So, and that's what I was mentioning earlier about the stretches, really letting that air flow through your body, expanding your diaphragm, breathing in as deeply as possible. And sometimes you don't even have to do a pranayama, just find your natural breath and become comfortable with your own breath and breathe deeply. You can also use meditation for self-reflection. The Divine Odyssey is designed to help all of us become better at self-observation, to help us recognize when things are going well and when something's feeling off. And once we recognize that it's off, we have the tools to fix it. Another thing you can do during meditation is use mudras. Mudras are shapes that you make with your hands, and you want to think of your hand kind of like a switchboard, right? Each finger in your hand is connected to different parts of your body, and you can use the mudra that's in the picture here while you do your meditation. This one is specifically for the sacral chakra. And naturally, you can use affirmations to help heal the sacral chakra. During our live session, I revealed that one of my favorite practices is using affirmations. And I like to use them while doing the stretches, doing the yoga poses. I found that that's most effective for me. It really helps center me and focus me on the present moment. And, just like I said, I was doing and still do yoga and affirmations at the same time. You can combine any of these practices as you see fit. There's no one size fits all. Find the thing that works for you and, turn that into your own special practice. Do whatever feels the most comfortable, whatever you think is going to give you the biggest benefit. So that wraps up the presentation piece. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up if you feel like you got some insight, some value out of this video. And make sure you just subscribe. I was about to say describe, but that's, what I'm saying. Make sure you subscribe and, talk to me, right? We're not talking to each other live, but this is your chance to give me feedback. And during our call, when we did our live session, I asked some questions to the group. I wanted to know what you thought was keeping people from expressing themselves the most, right? And, I asked that as a collective question when we were in the group. But for you, the viewer, the person listening and watching this right now, make it personal, right? What do you think is keeping you from being expressive? What's preventing you from being creative? Do you feel like there are any restrictions that you have on yourself? Maybe ask yourself, am I living my life with enough passion? And if not, what can I do to get that passion back? What steps can I take to feel more fulfilled, feel more expressive, feel more creative, feel more sexually pleased? These are all questions for you to take to your meditation, to consider while you're walking, you're driving, just something to contemplate, so that we can master ourselves, right? So that we can gain understanding, and with that understanding, gain control over how we feel, over how we think, and how we act, to become masters of ourselves. Up on the screen right now, I have the next upcoming dates for the Divine Odyssey. And again, I will have the link in the description. It will be right at the top. You won't be able to miss it. So it's for the Divine Odyssey. It's free. It's on Eventbrite, and you'll find it under Quran the Seeker. So again, if you got any type of value out of this whatsoever, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe, so I could, pretty much know I'm going in the right direction here, that this is what you all want to see, what you need. Just, give me a clue. So now it is time for our meditation. What I have up on the screen now are 3 affirmations. What I'd like you to do is pick one of the 3 affirmations that you see now on the screen. And during the meditation, focus on that one affirmation. You can say it out loud if you feel so inclined, or you can just, repeat it internally to yourself. I'll give you a moment to pick one. Okay, I'm going to assume you've made your pick by now. So I'm going to play the meditation video. It's only 5 minutes, and it begins with chimes and it ends with bells. So when you hear the bells, you'll know that it's over.